welcome back to my channel, YouTube. We're gonna jump right in. But listen, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, okay? Smash the like for the YouTube algorithm and let's jump right into it. Now, listen, I know people have mixed feelings about foie gras, but I wanna set the record straight. This is a chef channel, okay? We prepare foie gras. If you don't like foie gras, please continue. Keep scrolling. I totally get it. No hate, okay? All right, next, we're gonna jump right in. To all my pro chefs, listen, when you get your foie gras, let it come to room temp, and I highly urge that, carve out some time to work on it. Don't put it back in the fridge, you gotta do it start to finish, okay? It's about a half an hour process. Now, as you can see, I separated the two lobes. There's a big and a small, right? You want to separate the two, and then you want to open it like a book, butterfly it. And then from there, what you're going to do is be very careful and be gentle, okay? As you can see, I'm being very graceful, a lot of finesse here. You don't want to go ripping up this beautiful duck liver, okay? From there, I like to work on a plastic Cambro lid. Obviously, you can work on whatever you want, but for me, I like to keep the things contained, okay? Especially when I'm seasoning it, especially when I'm picking through it. I like to keep everything nice and organized on this Lexan, but most importantly, you'll see a little bit later in the video when I go to cut it. All right, next. The deveining of foie gras. I think this is really important. So I'm gonna fast forward through some of this parts, but it literally takes me about 10 minutes. But what I want to suggest, what I want to drive home is that there's two main veins that go through this liver, and then from there, what you're gonna do is hit all of the little baby veins from there. Okay, so I like to use fish tweezers for this task, but it's really important. Just start with one lobe, grab the big vein, and then use your fingers and just guide the vein and pull it out gently. Okay, don't go picking and prodding and crushing the lobe. I'm telling you, you can get about 30% when you pull the big membrane out. You can get about 30% of the veins out in one shot, but look how gentle and nice I'm pulling it out, okay? Then from there, you're just gonna work your way around, get all the little veins. I think what's really important is just because there's a little blood spot does not mean it's a vein, okay? So you have to kind of know what you're doing. This takes a couple times. Now, a little note to self, I've made so many foie gras torchons, okay? So I'm gonna be honest. There is many ways to make foie gras torchon. Just to give you a rundown, at Cafe Beloud, I used to poach it in duck fat. Okay, at Charlie Palmer, I used to cook it sous vide. All right, at Alinea, we did it Thomas Keller style, right? And so there's so many ways to do it, but this way that I'm doing now is actually adopted from the Chef Steps website, okay? And I wanted to do something new, man. I'm tired of doing it like the way I've always done it. So as you can see right here, I'm very gentle. I'm cutting everything into cubes. Now, you don't have to do this part, but I really encourage doing this because you get a perfect circle and everything seasons properly, and it works out really well, especially if you're going to slice it. But you're more than welcome to leave the lobes whole. Check this out. This is the seasoning mix they had on their website, and I wanted to try it. It's called the Sweet Spice. I'll leave it linked down in the description. And here again, this is salt, sugar, and a little sodium nitrate. You can leave the nitrate out, but I highly suggest it because the foie will turn green on you no matter what. So sodium nitrate inhibits that. So I highly suggest it. All right, next, it's off camera, but I went ahead and ground that spice mix up one more time, and I'm not going to use all of it. And I'm gonna be honest, I cut the star anise in half. It called for 40 grams, but I cut it in half. I just thought it was a little bit too much. And that's why I'm a chef, man. I make those decisions like that. But I'll tell you what, this spice mix was great. I also get my spices from Le Sanctuaire, which is like top notch. They do a really good job, probably the best in the United States for sure. I have, if you see to the left here, left of the screen, I have some sweet wine. I switched it up. I'm not using Sauternes. I'm using elderberry liqueur. Yeah, whatever it is, elderflower, elderberry. I'm not cutting that out. You know what I mean. From there, listen, I think it's really important to just season everything thoroughly. Make sure you season and coat everything, okay? I can't stress this enough. Take your time, do this part right. Then I'm flipping everything over and I'm gonna hit the other side. I think what's really important through this time too is make sure this is the only project you're working on, all right? I've been in a restaurant and I've tasted a lot of torchons, and it just boils down to, time and care, right? Make sure you are focused to the task at hand. Don't let anybody pull you away from this project. It's a start to finish project. You need to dedicate some time. Do not start this project during service. Anyway, it's going to get pretty quick here, but I wanted to show my technique. So, obviously I'm using this spice mix here. It's a sweet spice mix. Super fragrant, but you could omit this. You can just use salt, sugar, and the nitrate, and you'll be just fine. A little cooking wine, it's perfect. But again, like I said, I'm so tired of making foie gras the way I used to make it, and I wanted to try something new. So that's why I, went on the Chef Steps. They have some wonderful recipes over there, and I just kind of made it my own. But I pretty much followed their directions to the T, and I wanted to see how it came out. Also, it's really hard to eat a full lobe of foie gras, so that's why I'm adding the spice, because I want to be able to use it in a few different things. Now, next, this is going to be really important here, so pay attention. Make sure your area is clean, wrap everything up. Now, what's important here is from this point, I like to use cheesecloth, okay? Now, the recipe calls for plastic wrap, and I wanted to try to figure out a way to do this so somebody could mimic this at their house. So I'm actually doing plastic wrap as well. I do not suggest this way of doing it. I think the cheesecloth comes out a lot better because you can get a better age on it from the air circulating around the fridge. But anyway, wrap it up in plastic. All right, make sure it's really tight. There's plenty of videos on that floating around the web. But you're gonna drop it into a 40-degree centigrade bath, okay, for half an hour. And then from there, immediately into ice water, okay? And then from the ice water, super easy. You're gonna let that chill in the fridge for 3 days. Now, don't touch it, okay? Trust me. After it's in the fridge, so here we go. Boom, I'm covering this up, 30 minutes. Yep, this is my garage gym. That's what we do, baby. Now, I ice it down, and then boom, we're gonna come back when it's ready after 3 days.
Ooh.